What's wrong with your mic?
My mic hitter?
Yeah.
I don't know. What it sound like?
Oh, it's better now.
Oh, alright. It sound low?
It was low and staticky.
Oh. What about now?
Yeah, you better now.
Alright, I think because I had it up. These brand new headphones. So I had that shit up near my head, top of my head and shit. And it probably was staticky because of my cell phone right next to it playing that music and shit. But we good now though, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, man. It's been a long playoff series. I still don't think the playoffs took as long as it took last year, but you know, I apologize for the, you know, for us not sticking to the 24-hour, you know, advance rule in the playoffs. But you know, things come up. And shit happens. Sometimes, you know, shit happens in life that really could take you, should take you away from the game and shit, as it becomes least important to what's really important. And yeah, a couple of nights ago I had got news that I wouldn't want to get, or want anybody else to have to get either, and shit. I lost somebody that was real close to me. In a fucked up way. It's hard to really, hard pill to swallow, I guess. And I know they say don't question God and all that shit, but this is one of those ones where it's hard not to. So I apologize to the super active members in all our leagues that had to take a step back and slow down a little bit. And I appreciate those that respect and giving me the time to get my shit together and you know, deal with death in the family right now. So I want you know, scream rest in peace to my cousin Pooh Star, Pooh Jers, motherfucking P Dot, whatever you want to call him, and those that be watching it from the Facebook channel, all my, you know, boys from the Facebook channel that I know, you know, from Facebook that watch the show and all that. I know y'all all, you know what I mean? I was either saw y'all yesterday or we kicked it yesterday. We all going through the same shit right now. So definitely going you know, want to say rest in peace to my cousin James Hanna, Pooh Dot, Mr. Parkside himself. Alright, so we had playoff, and I didn't talk about not one round of the playoffs, bro. It was hard to really get into it, but we got to go back through the playoffs and give y'all, those that, you know, pay attention, those that are watching, give all of y'all the roundabout what happened in the playoffs. Now, Snake made a motherfucking comment in the chat, and I'm starting to get a little worried because we had a fight back then when Boone was winning games and active and shit. He was on a Real Talk show talking about which side was better, the NFC or the AFC. So then I'm reading the chat today. It was not too long ago, and then Snake said, you know, the NFC all games, the AFC all blowouts. And that's a little scary, but that doesn't, to me, I don't think that means the NFC is better than the AFC at all. Shit happens. So I like that conversation. That could have been a big debate between me and Shoguns tonight, but we're not going to debate it. Then you got guys like Hitter saying, shit, I ain't lose note to no AFC team this year. We got to do better in the AFC, man. What's this about? I mean, guys taking shots at us left and right now. Oh, man, the AFC, all their games blowouts over there. The NFC all rocking and shit. Motherfucking, you got, you know, NFC East teams talking about how they ain't losing nobody in the AFC and all this and that. I mean, how we going my AFC companions, how we going to make it make sense when the numbers don't lie? You know what I'm saying? Men and women lie. What my boy Falky always say, men and women lie, numbers don't. So I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with the with the league when it comes down to the come down. My boy Boone said, nah, the AFC better, the NFC ass. Y'all don't got 10 good players over there and all that good shit and all that. Then Snake comes back subtly because he happier than a boy in Faggotstown too right now because he getting closer to the off season. And you know he in everybody and they mama DM right now. He in niggas DMs for a trade and found the girlfriend. Ha 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 ha! This nigga was slick as hell. Oh nah, my bad. I ain't mean for you to pick up the phone and shit. I was trying to call the guy that got the motherfucking jets and shit. Who this is, girl? Where you from? That's how he be coming for your players. Nigga steal shit. He be coming for your. He be coming for your players like that. Oh man, come on, bro. Once you come up off of that and everything like that, I give you a little slick old. I'm just saying, take these 2 players and shit. It's gonna help your team out. You know, send that. You know what? That sound like a good trade to me. But anyway, you know, some guys are getting ready for the off season. We're gonna try to make sure this off season start tomorrow night. So whether me and Falky play tonight or at 4:30 or 5 tomorrow, it still doesn't matter. Off season will start around 7 anyway, and then we'll do what we always do: 7:30 draft. I mean off season and draft around 8:30, 9 o'clock. So we will get it done tomorrow because I'm really not going to be able to probably do it the next day, Wednesday. I'm not going to be able to really get that shit done. I got too much stuff going on family wise right now for me to not try to push it. So if we end up playing it tonight or it gets played tomorrow during the afternoon and shit sometime, then we'll be right into the off season right after it. So hopefully if you're not watching right now, you're gonna listen to this tomorrow and understand that we will be getting into the off season tomorrow. So you guys can make it way easier on me. Start trying to get your trades and stuff done now. You guys can set all your GM shit up to try to do. If you need approvals on trades, please get them to the rules committee guys, the Jets. I mean the Jets. He was the Jets in real drive. I'm sorry. The Jaguars and the Lions coaches are responsible for trades. Please don't just send half-ass trades to them. Meaning like don't just send the information to them. Don't try to make their job as easy as possible because they will not be just giving you back approvals. It's not gonna. I don't care if the whole rules try to approve it. If it don't come back my way first before it get approved to you, then it's not getting approved. As simple as that. And then you're gonna be like, well, they said it was approved, and I'm gonna be like, well, I don't give a fuck. Because you didn't tell him that it was a contract year for this guy and all that. So make sure all that information is there for those guys. The more they got to do the research, the longer your trade is going to take to get approved. Simple as that. So the more research y'all do for these trades yourselves, the better it is when it comes to the rules. Like the final straw should be the rules chat and them dumping it in there for a vote. And we should have all the information we need on that trade to be able to say yes or no to it. You know what I mean? It's real simple. Just some gameplay shit that we're gonna change. Just remember this: going into next season, although we'll have if you can't stop computer games. What I mean by that is, some guys this time's not going to match up. Somebody going to give a forced win out. We won't have a computer team. Have to worry about that. But we will have rules on computer rules, and those rules will be way strict. Like last year, this season I let all of us, including myself, kind of get away with just doing whatever. But we're not going back to that. We're gonna I will allow you to play the computer if a guy doesn't want to play you, because it's important with this. If you don't do your training and play your game or meet your goals, you miss out. So all you guys that's too cool to play the computer or can't beat the computer, if you can't beat the computer, I get it. Take the first win and just don't worry about getting goals and all that shit. But if you like I am, I want every goal possible to build my team. I'm playing. So with that being said, it will be like cap rooms on everything, like a score, all that stuff, like what's the score can actually be, how many yards you can do things. That's not my shit with whistling like that, bro. I got brand new headphones on. That's somebody else shit.
That's some shit.
I promise you that ain't my shit. That ain't my shit. That's somebody else. I promise you that ain't my shit. That's somebody else shit. Guaranteed. I literally just opened these this headphones, so I know it ain't my shit. Somebody shit doing the dance with me. They dancing in the wind right now. So told you it ain't my shit. Who else on headset right now?
Nano.
And you and Nano. That's it.
Falk, Shogun.
Nah, I'm here.
Yo.
Alright, so yeah, that wasn't my shit, bro. I promise you it wasn't my shit. So anyway, so we will have rules and stats, you know, when it comes down to stats of what you can do on the computer going forward. What else? Oh, the other major thing that, you know, we kind of ignored. I guess we'll put them back out again. We'll put the rules back out again when it comes down to play calling rules and shit, man. Guys is getting too comfortable, pretty much, you know, selling their fucking soul to try to get a win and shit. I mean, we getting a little too out of hand with this play. Yeah, because play calling just go out the door when you're trying to win a game. And I mean, you know, you got guys that don't listen to what we say when it comes down to play calling. So what's going to end up happening is guys gonna start losing draft picks. The niggas gonna be ready to quit, or I'm gonna just let guys quit the game and go back to the original shit. Quit that shit and then put them niggas on auto and play their computer after hitter makes the ruling on it, if it was, you know, breaking the rules or not. I mean, I'm tired of having to play somebody and they sent in cover 3 the whole fucking game. I'll come out in this, they in 3. Don't matter, the play call rules or nothing, they in 3, or 4, all fucking drive. And they try, you know, I get it, guys want to match what you in. If you come out and shotgun shit and they think you're in the pass, they might come out in this defense. But if you're on a run, they know how to stop the run by coming out. And I get the run is a little bit more powerful than it used to, you know, than it was. And you know, a whole lot of guys that never run or don't know how to run all of a sudden can, you know, run the ball now. But I don't think it's I don't think the run is in a situation where, you know, niggas is only winning because of the run, because those that are running good are runners in the first place. So, and then you get the new guys that are running good because the game, you know, the way the game is. But my boy Hitter said something to me the other night and was like, bro, I'm bringing up film from King Madden 18 and I'm watching running backs fall forward. I agree. The game always allowed that, but not like this. This game, dude, this game is a little OP with the fall forward shit. Running backs get yards. They get caught in the backfield. Make it make sense. 330-pound motherfucker hitting a nigga in the backfield, and he 180, but he get 8-9 yards off of it. So I get it, but we gotta start calling plays the right way, bro. Like, you can't sit in cover 4. I don't care if you go from quarters to cover 4 drop, or, you know, or palms. You're in cover 4. Bottom line, you got to call different defenses, bro. We way too good, and everybody getting way too better in the game for them to just be basic and, you know, doing shit. I promise you that ain't my shit, Hit. I think that's your shit.
I'm on mute, so it can't be me.
It's faulty. It's faulty.
It's Falk shit?
Yeah, because
right,
he left his shit on.
So you hear it like sound like it's windy and shit, or like they moving it around, it's muffled, like it's like
Yeah.
That's Falk doing that? That's Falk shit doing that?
Yeah, that's fault.
Alright, I'm gonna mute him and make sure. Alright, so we'll put the, I'm not going to sit here and explain the play rules over, because 90% of the guys that's doing the shit I'm talking about right now, they know the rule. They just don't give a fuck because they want to win the game. So the problem is we're going to add more to that rule. We're going to get to the point where we'll start taking draft picks from guys and taking the first win, or putting them on auto for the game to get played, because it's going to have to stop. Because That shit ain't Fox shit. Whose shit is that, bro?
It's Shogun.
Oh, Shogun probably moving
Why you
around.
saying it's Shogun?
Cause I just seen it.
You just seen what?
Well, explain it. How you just seen it?
I'm looking at the levels, like the mic levels.
Well, that's something new I ain't never seen before. So explain yourself. You can just go on. You gotta have a 5 to see that shit?
Yeah.
Everybody's banks is spiking. Funky's bank is spiking. I got a 5. I see all that. I don't understand what's going on there. I know you blaming everybody but yourself.
Right, could be you.
Right.
Let me find out. All I know is when I'm talking and that shit go off, that ain't on me. I just put a whole new microphone on and got a whole new, brand new backup one sitting right next to it. Shit happens. What are you in here doing, young lady? Alright, so with that being said, man, now my boy Guns is in the building. Shit blowing my shit right now. Oh my god. It better let me find out that shit mine, man. I got a whole new mic, so let me know, fellas, if y'all listening to it. It sound like
I don't know. Now what is that?
That's his mic. I'm trying to tell you.
it ain't my shit. Alright, I'm gonna unplug and put it back up.
Nah, just stop.
Maybe it is my shit. I ain't been listening to it.
No, nobody will never listen to me when I say shit, man.
Alright, so if it don't happen again, I apologize, but I promise you that shit gonna happen again. It's one of y'all shits. Yeah, he saying it was my shit. It's all good, it is what it is. Maybe I ain't have it all the way plugged in. Man, that ain't my shit. Hell no. That ain't my shit.
Sound like some people when games be double line and we play the same guy and they double line. Oh, it ain't my internet.
That ain't my shit, I promise it ain't my shit.
I sound like you in a snowstorm right now.
Who, me?
Yep. And you sound far away.
There's no way I got open that other mic up. Let's be grateful. I know it ain't my shit, but just open it up anyway, cause I'm about to go crazy over here. Huh? Here, listen. It's like a windy noise, like it's muffling, like.
Ain't nobody outside?
Huh?
Nobody outside?
Nah, they saying I sound far away. I'm about to find out right now. Alright, so we great find out. Now I'm gonna start muting niggas. We gonna do it by eliminating process. Let's see if it make that noise now. See if it's mine. I muted Shoguns first. We're gonna go there first, and then we're gonna go to motherfucking hitter, then Nano. If it make noise, we're gonna continue to go. Alright, so why it's not doing nothing right now, and I suck so I can't mute my co-host right now. This show all fucked up. I'm ready to motherfucker stop the shit out of it. Cause we got too much muffling going on. We trying to figure out. And then if it is gun shit by chance, he's my co-host. Okay, I gotta have him on the show. Oh my God, bear with us, fellas. Everybody that's watching right now is in the crew anyway, guaranteed. All right, let's unmute my boy Guns.
It was still doing it?
Nah, it ain't doing it no more. Unmute the greatest co-host on earth. Now I'm about to mute hitter. Let's see what happens. Maybe it was my shit. Again, if it's mine, I'll probably. Guns, you there now?
Yeah,
Yo, Guns.
He muted himself, I think.
Nah, I unmuted him.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Alright, we muted hitter. It might have just been mine, bro. Alright, I apologize if it was mine. I don't know why it's that shit. I don't know. It is what it is. But anyway, Guns, we got a lot of. Let me unmute my boy hitter real fast, and then we get to. We'll figure it out. Hopefully it stopped. Unmute the kid. The problem is y'all got yourselves muted. That's probably why. I appreciate you. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. All right, so y'all all see the scores up there. The yellows is the guys who won and shit, but we didn't talk about not one game. Guns, not at all. So we're gonna start here. We're gonna go playoffs right away. You know, bottom line, we just want guys to start calling the right, you know, following the play calling rules, and the computer game shit gonna change. And, other than that, man, I appreciate everybody on how, you know, the activity, how y'all, you know, what I mean, how y'all all rocking. And like I said in the chat earlier, I think everybody in the league getting better. As far as, you know, playing the game as well too, man. Guys is getting good, bro. The league really getting harder and harder to win games, man, or to, you know, damn near any given advance. But we'll start over here with the NFC, and we'll start the wild card game, man. What they call them, the All-Star. No, just real quick. I'm not going to get into everything. Just going to talk about the score in the games real fast. Because we didn't talk about not one playoff game. So we'll talk about the New York Giants 51-6 over the number 7 seed Washington football team. I'll give you a quick resume. I'm not going in there looking at no numbers or nothing like that. But what we will say is that Washington, to me, I told you they're one of the youngest teams in the playoffs. And I think they just matched up with, you know, the word out for the New York Giants, where they were an all-star team, and that team was well put together. They were kind of put together on some Tampa Bay type shit when it came down to Tom Brady going there. And you know, that team was hard to beat, man. They had a bunch of veterans, superstar veterans over there as well, and some young pieces, and they developed really well over there. Those guys really took, you know, ran with their scenario engine shits, and they really got them all. So like when you get your scenarios and you hit on them and you do your goals, you know, you get guys that dev up, superstars and all that shit. So they had all the right pieces over there. I do think the football team, you know, at this season around, they were a year behind the rest of those teams over there, except for the Cowboys. And I thought the football team has a really good team. Don't get it twisted. They start off the league with a good defense. But they didn't have a quarterback. They had a rookie quarterback in this game. And the Giants showed their, you know, they showed that they were the dominant team, winning that division. Not only winning the division, but, you know, first round of the playoffs, they showed that they were ready to win this season, man. One of the Super Bowl favorites at one point. You look on the other side of things, nobody expected this, but we expected it. You know what I'm saying? I think when it comes down to the Browns, you know, one of the better teams on the game right away, and playing the Broncos, it came down to a coaching matchup. Coach Jimbo's really good at coaching, adjusting. Yeah. He's good at adjusting and coaching on the fly. And when his offense is hitting, it's hitting. Simple as that. I think Boone got caught up in the patch where he couldn't run, you know, 75% of his offense with the tight end delay shit, and it kind of hurt him because it was at the wrong time. The patch happened while we were in the midst of the playoffs. And I think that kind of killed him a little bit. It kind of took a lot of his offense away, and it's hard to adjust on the fly when you lose, you know, something that you're really good at, and pretty much better than anybody else at it in the league. So in that game, you saw the Broncos dominate 50-10 in that ball game, the number 2 seed over the number 7 seed. When you go back to the 3 versus 6 games, really good game between the Lions. The Lions, I think they were a year ahead of schedule, but although they were a year ahead of schedule, they still made the playoffs. And they played a tough game, man. 35-23, the Super Bowl champs, D West, pulled off the dub. They better get to the divisional round, 35-23. But the Lions are showing that they're here, and, you know, again, being ahead of schedule can only, you know, work wonders for that team's morale going forward. So shout out to Antonio, the number 3 seed beat the number 6 seed. So far in the NFC East, the higher seeds both won of the games I talked about so far. You go back over to the AFC, the Patriots play the Chargers, and the Chargers was out of their elements. They had to play a game in a blizzard, man, bottom line, and they adjusted to the blizzard game, and they came out and had the dominant run game in that ball game, and they absolutely upsetted the Patriots, because, you know, I think both these coaches have a unique coaching style with their selves. They both are pretty good guys in the league. They can win ball games. They can beat anybody in the league at any moment. And I like the fact that Coach Corey adjusted in this game in the elements, and because of that, he adjusted well, and he rushed for about 290-something yards versus the Patriots like 160 in that game, and I think that was the deciding factor of the game. No one expected a team from Los Angeles that don't never seen snow a day in their lives go to an all blizzard, icy Boston and pull out the dub. So shout out to Corey being the only lower seed so far that pulled out a dub. You stay over here in the AFC side of things, and you get the 4 versus 5 seed. And the Chiefs came into this game hot, man. They won a big game against the Browns to drop their seed a little bit from 6 to 5, and they were hot. They had big wins over the guys in their division as well. And they were flying high in this game. And again, when we talk about how young the Washington football team is, you have to counter that conversation with the Jaguars. They're a very young football team. Not too much, like, their veteran presence is a Stefan Diggs. You know what I'm saying? He got life left in this league. He ain't super old at all. So, like, when you're looking at veterans that are really still young on that team, that tells you the youth for that team. I do think, them getting to the playoffs is one thing. They're looking to take that next step, and we'll see it as their team develop. We'll hopefully see them play a little farther than the wild card round. 49-17, Coach Rich DeBarber pulled that one off. So in the AFC, we had 2 lower seeds upset 2 higher seeds when the Chiefs and the Chargers, both of those guys moved on. The number 5 seed had to go to number 2, so they traveled the Broncos to play a game that they had to play 3 times this season. And then the Chargers played the Ravens for the first time this year, with the 6 seed going to 1. All right, and the last game in the wild card round that we didn't talk about was this 22-17 game from the family ties. That's what I called this game. It was the family tie game. You had Coach Craig in the powerful Tampa Bay Buccaneers played one of the hottest teams in the league this season, which is the Philadelphia Eagles, and Coach Rob, the bad guy versus the good guy. You heard me, Erica? Coach Rob, the good guy, Craig, the bad guy. Well, they played a hell of a ball game, 22-17. This game came down to the Eagles having the ball down, 22-17, with the ball last to drive to be able to get down there and win the ball game, and they got all the way to the red zone and ended up throwing an interception. And a play that he probably would have threw 9 out of 10 times, he probably would have ran that same play. I wasn't mad at the play that he ran down there. Get your best receivers, one of your better receivers the ball. Maybe I would have went to D-Hop instead of the young Heisman guy, but they both were playing such at a high level. You take a shot one-on-one, and the DB made a really good play on the click on, hit the triangle button, and pick something off that, maybe he could hold it a little longer for the throw, but 22-17. So, the Eagles go home early in the playoffs in the wild card round, but they one of those teams that can really build off that their run last year or this season, and try to be able to move forward in their playoffs. It's gonna be tough because that NFC East division is gonna be crazy. So what we got was the number 4 seed went to travel to the number 1 seed. So Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a rematch of the Arizona Cardinals when Tampa Bay won that matchup in the regular season, and they had to travel to Arizona, and this was a hell of a game. 10-point win. They both, showed dominance at, every turn of the way of this game. And I think, Falk turned the ball over early in this game. First quarter, a lot of turnovers in the first half, and then Craig turned the ball over. I think that third quarter, really late second, third quarter, really hurt the Bucks. They turned the ball over. Actually, turned the ball over in something that they don't really do. I think he only had like 9 interceptions on the year, and he threw like 2 to 3 picks going into the fourth quarter. And they still show, that they can get up and down the field as well. But the Cardinals pulled it out 38-28 in that ball game. And then you slide down here to the New York Giants and the Chicago Bears. And the Chicago Bears, their run to defend their Super Bowl championship ended here, 44-28. Now I have no idea what happened in this ball game. I just see the score, 44-28. I don't know if this was a weather game. I do think it was another weather game, and if it was, I'm not 100% sure if it was or not. Any of y'all watched it and known if it was a weather game? Nah.
Who, the Bears versus who?
The Bears versus the Giants.
Yeah, it was snow games.
Snow game?
Yes.
All right, so I'm quite sure we got to see some Saquon Barkley in this game, in the snow game. All right, so again, so 44-28, and what that did was that matched up the number 1 seed versus the number 2 seed. All right, and if you're looking at playoff seedings, that's probably the matchup you think is supposed to happen. Most people will pick that, and we all know there's always an upset somewhere along the line. You can never go with the top 2 seeds, but in this case, the top 2 seeds are playing for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. So we're going to find out, as you can see, who crowned themselves the NFC champions. And on the other side, you had the 1 versus 6 seed, and the Chargers run stopped at Baltimore, and they lost this game 41-17. The young rookie running back Casey Fields had a day, 30 carries to win the ball game, but that Baltimore defense showed up in the run and passing game, stopping the Chargers on big crucial downs. It was about 3 or 4 3rd and 3s in those games, and they didn't connect. They had to punt, so I think that was really the turnaround in that game. Who did? The Chargers?
Oh, I'm looking at the Bears game.
Who they playing? The Steelers, right?
Yeah.
All right, so then you got the Broncos in a rematch against the Chiefs, and the Broncos, this game dropped. The Broncos won this game. It was a good game. I know Shoguns was on headset with me watching this game. This was a good game. And Rich the Barber had a chance he was down 11 and had a chance, about three chances to turn this game around before the fourth quarter got to the point where it was just not enough time left, and he tried but kept turning the ball right back over. So Jimbo does what Jimbo do, which is out coach and aggressively win the ball game that's needed to be won, and they pulled that off, sending themselves to the AFC Championship to match up with the number 1 seed Baltimore Ravens. So unfortunately, on both sides of the equation, we had the 1 versus 2 seed playing. So we got the matchups that most would expect. Again, you never want to go with the highest seeds making it, because there's always upsets along the line. But in this case, 1 versus 2 against in the AFC and 1 versus 2 in the NFC. And the NFC game was the game. That game was a ball game. It was 17-7 ball game at halftime with the New York Giants up 17-7 in that game, and the Cardinals did what they did throughout the entire playoffs, bro. They came back and won, and showed their strength late in ball games to be able to pull off the dub 24-17. Again, the Giants started to turn the ball over in the second half, where they really started hurting themselves in turnovers, because eventually, the first turnover didn't really kill them, but those next 2 turned into scores. One score tied the game up, the other score got the lead, and then the Giants had the ball last to drive down, missed a wide open drag, got sacked, 4th from a million. After that, game's over. Chargers find themselves in the Super Bowl for the first time in Game of Thrones 3. And then in the Blizzard game, it came down to exactly that. The Blizzard really killed us. Both teams had to be held back, but I think it held his team back a little bit more. And both times I matched up with him in the playoffs, we had Blizzard games. The Blizzard hurts him more than it hurts me because of our style of play. And I just think that, we never went away from the run. We continued to run, even though they showed signs of stopping the run. At one point, going into halftime, we was averaging 3 yards a carry. And we came out and we ran it, but to be able to stop the run for the Baltimore Ravens, you got to do a lot of shit. You got to be able to load that box up, and then Hollywood made them pay with a really, really, really big play before halftime. A woo baby touchdown to put us up 17-7 at halftime, and pulled the dub by 45-13. Sends the Baltimore Ravens to the Super Bowl. And then now you got the Cardinals and the Baltimore Ravens playing. You got King Falk versus AntHits. Both teams, to me, are young. I think I would say Falk team a little younger outside of J.J. Watt. Really don't know too many guys that are older over there. We do got Calais Campbell, but we got Calais Campbell, May, and Derek. Well, we got a few guys that help this team actually develop, but we playing young. Rookies are going to be an important role to this game. A lot of first year and second year players. That are impact players all over this game. This is a big game. We will talk about this matchup a little later, but that's your Super Bowl coming up, hopefully. Bottom line, we'll be in the off season by tomorrow, no matter what. Sometime by tomorrow, 7:30, 8 o'clock, we'll be in the off season. So Cardinals versus the Baltimore Ravens, the both #1 seeds, are playing in the Super Bowl. Now, do we know who's the home team, or ain't it a way like a Super Bowl formula that determines who's the home team? Isn't it like whatever division won the most? I don't know. How is that? Anybody know anything about that? Anybody watching know how they determine
the Pro Bowl.
Who wins the Pro Bowl?
I thought it was.
How is the home team decided in a Super Bowl? Anybody watching might know the answers to that. Thanks, Drew. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I just read that. Sorry to hear about your loss, bro. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. All right. So anyway, we don't know who the home team is. We don't know the formula. Hitters only. Now I'm gonna go off of what Hitter's saying, because he says, like he says, we don't never listen to him at all. So we're gonna listen to Hitter this time, and we're gonna go off of that. Usually the higher seed. All right, Matt. I would think Matt knows.
It says the home team rotates each year between the NFC representatives and the AFC representative. This year, the AFC in real life is home team. So technically, yeah.
So we don't really know why. It's just a rotation year to year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I believe that. Okay, I can understand that. So we got it. All right. So who was the home team last year? Wasn't it the NFC?
It should be Baltimore this year, then, if that's the case.
Yeah, because I thought D West played a home game. I think we had to watch it off of Young Camden's broadcast. The Super Bowl last year.
Because Tampa Bay played in Tampa Bay last year.
Yes,
and I think the Super Bowl this year is in the Chargers and the Rams stadium.
Okay.
Yeah, they got Baltimore at the bottom.
Yeah, but remember we're 2 years removed from the real NFL. So the 2021 draft is where we started at. So that means the AFC had the home team. So that means D West.
AFC at NFC.
They say that's what it say?
Oh no, I'm looking at the Pro Bowl. My bad.
Because remember, the Super Bowl was played in Los Angeles Stadium last year already. When the Dolphins and the Bears played, they played in the LA Rams Stadium. So we're one more season ahead of that. So possibly the NFC might be. You know what? Let me look at my. Now we're not going to know until I advance. So my hitter might be right to it with the game. The game might do a little something different. Maybe I can go to. Let's go here. Let's go to playoff picture.
They got the Ravens at the Cardinals.
All right, there it goes. So they switched it back. All right, cool. All right, now with that being said, let's get to the Pro Bowl and see who did what, when, where, and why. All right, so Guns, we're going to talk a little bit about this Pro Bowl situation. We're going to run through the names and the starters and the backups and all that stuff, and then we're going to talk about who you think will win this Pro Bowl, and then we're going to talk about who has the better talent, AFC or NFC, when it comes down to those are in the Pro Bowl. All right, so Guns, just your thought process on Tom Brady. Might be Tom Brady's final season going out with a Pro Bowl. He's the starting quarterback in the Pro Bowl. Do you think he earned this job over Deshaun Watson, or you think they think he's going out, they're going to send him out with a bang and let him be the starter in the Pro Bowl?
I don't know. I mean, Tom Brady had an excellent year. And he was just solid. There were times where Deshaun Watson was fantastic at times, and then there were times where kind of hard to say, but he went from fantastic to to great to good, and then back and forth. So I think some of it is part of the possible farewell tour, and
farewell
giving
tour.
Giving a nod to Tom Brady.
To the old man, Grandpa Tom Brady. Grandpa Brady in there. Now, I think that Deshaun Watson should have been a starting quarterback in this game. But I understand that Tom Brady says because he was 82% on the year. He threw for 4,000 yards. But when you watch the Eagles play, they won because of Deshaun Watson for the most part. I know they had the triplets in the backfield, but they won with Deshaun Watson. 90% of their games they played, he was, out there doing what he had to do, and he was 70% on the year right now. I thought, Deshaun Watson should have been maybe QB number 1, but he's QB number 2. With Russell Wilson, Danger Russ trying to bring the beat back. Old man resurrecting his career after having that disappointing season over there for the Seahawks. He comes over at the halfway mark with the Giants and went dummies on the year, man. So they get your top 3. Out of the top 3 quarterbacks that are in the NFC, 2 of them are above age for real out here, and Deshaun Watson still got enough youth to be a dog in this league for a couple of more years. On the AFC side, QB number 1 is Baker Mayfield. Number 2 is Justin Herbert. Number 3 is Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, here it's here for you. All right, so Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes. Do you think the AFC got the right starter?
No, Baker Mayfield ass.
Yeah, I don't think Baker Mayfield should. I think a lot of his yards was tainted. A lot of handoffs in the backfield that they call passes. Although he still show explosiveness, and then off of that you had a lot of tight end delay shit. And that was their scheme, boom cat offense at the end of the day. Not taking away from what he did, but I do think, I don't know, who would you give the starting job to, Herbert or Mahomes?
I actually think Herbert played probably the best quality football from the beginning to end.
Yeah.
I don't like the omission of Lamar Jackson off this list. I think he had better seasons than all 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, he not in the Pro Bowl because he playing in the Super Bowl. That's the only reason I ain't in it.
But I mean, they should still put his name.
Put his name there. Yeah, I think they should do something.
And then put a alternate behind whoever took his place.
I agree with that too. They just gotta stop acting like they don't give a fuck about the players that are playing the Super Bowl. Like in real life, they tell you who even those Super Bowl players, they at least get their name mentioned.
Right.
As
They tell you who made it, and then they tell you who were the alternates. There's nothing to take away from the alternates, but at least acknowledge the guys who made it.
Right. I mean, I agree. But because he'll be getting ready for his first Super Bowl, how'd that run out? He'll be getting ready for his first Super Bowl. I don't think this ain't got nothing in it either. Maybe this one here. He'll be getting ready for his first Super Bowl. I don't think Lamar is worried about if he's playing in a Pro Bowl game or not. But yeah, I think it would be good. I agree with you. I think they should. That didn't work either.
Oh, I got it.
I think they should acknowledge the fact that the guys that are in Super Bowl players should be Pro Bowl players, instead of making us go chase that down. All right, so obviously Baker Mayfield will get the start. Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes. Who has the better quarterbacks? I think this is an easy question.
I like the NFC quarterbacks better.
I do think the NFC quarterbacks are better. And we're I don't think Russell's going to retire, but we're looking at 2 veteran quarterbacks holding it down, man. They're not ready to pass the torch to the young gunners yet at all. So right now I do agree. NFC quarterbacks are better. Now let's get to the running backs. RB number 1 is Ronald Jones, the league's MVP. J.K. Dobbins is the number 1 running back for the AFC. Let's go to Saquon Barkley and Antonio Gibson. I think out of all the backs over here, would you agree with me and say Antonio Gibson is the most underrated running back in the league?
Oh, by far, he's greatly underrated. Because most people will probably just look at him when you look at his size. They would just think, okay, he's just a scat back, a Shady McCoy type of back. In my opinion, is who he is, and I think that's why he's a Pro Bowler. Because I don't think he's a Dave Meggett. I think he's a Shady McCoy.
Yeah, I think this guy do it all, man. He got hands like a receiver. He also played a whole lot of receiver in Memphis University. So I think he's underrated because the football team just didn't let him carry the team. They showed that he could carry the team, but they really didn't let him carry it. I don't know if that was because they was trying to build that young quarterback or what. But I think this back could have did what any of these other backs that we just named on this list could have did. Honestly, he was that good. At times you watched him win them ball games over there. Then you watched them shut him down and lose ball games because they wasn't getting him the ball. I think when you look at the running backs that's in the NFC, the top 3, He's the best receiver back out of all of them. He catches the ball really well out the backfield, and they probably use him more than other backs out of the backfield on the NFC side. They got some good running backs over here. All three of them could tote that rock. J.K. Dobbins led the league in rushing year one. Year two, he was back at it, another 2,000-yard back. Travis Etienne Jr. Is this his first Pro Bowl? Second Pro Bowl, so this man's holding it down. He's making sure we know he's one of the better running backs in the AFC. Najee Harris had a really quiet year this year, but yet he's still on this list as a Pro Bowl running back right now. So, Guns, same question with the quarterback position. NFC or AFC, who has the better running backs?
The thing I guess that I don't like about it is if you swap out the guys who are supposed to be there, the AFC has a better quarterback core. They have the better running back core. So to me, it's I still say the AFC. I still like the AFC running back, but I can easily see why somebody would get the NFC the nod. But if you add the guys who are playing in the Super Bowl that should be Pro Bowlers, right, it definitely swings to AFC for both categories.
I would say, you got Barkley's the big name running back, right? Antonio Gibson was, because of his production, him being a Pro Bowl player is everything. But I just think as a pure runner, we didn't really get to see him, or haven't seen him at his best yet. I like his upside, just like I like Travis Etienne's upside. So I think they balance each other out. Then when you look at the backs, it's like J.K. Dobbins and Ronald Jones. Well, you can't take away from what Ronald Jones has done. He is amazing. And his durability, he don't fumble at all, really. He can carry the load because he, 500 carries on the year. Down there, 4,000 yards rushing. So you can't take that away. But we know J.K. Dobbins has that same capability to do exactly that type of stuff too. I guess I gotta go with the NFC here. I'm gonna go with the NFC backs, the ones we're looking at 1 through 3 right now. I'm gonna go with the NFC as having the better backs right now up there. Overall, because as much as I would say Najee Harris over Antonio Gibson at the third spot, we don't see enough of Najee Harris, and even though we saying Antonio is underused, we still see him more. He's more, he's more involved in games. A lot of Najee's stats is not even the guy that controls him stats. So that's that. All right, so we're going down to the fullbacks, and we got Tyson Hill for the Giants. You got a C. Carter. Don't mind me if this is your fullback. I apologize. I have no idea who he is. Cabina. How you say this fucking guy's name? And who the hell he play for? Lions or somebody? Janovich look like he's from the Patriots. Fullbacks out here, so these guys can block, catch the ball at the backfield, whatever you're gonna need them to do, they doing. The number one receiver in the NFC is the kid Hudson for the Saints. Jaden Darden for the Bucks is number 2 wide receiver. Number 3 is Tree Owens. Number 4 is DK Metcalf. At 5 is Devontae Smith and D Hop. I think D Hop and Devontae should be up this list a little bit. Or do you think they're right where they belong at?
No, I think they are where they belong. There's D Hop is not the he's the leader of that wide receiver core, but they did a good job of distributing the ball to other wide receivers.
Right.
Which cut into his numbers a little bit. It doesn't measure who he is because he still is D Hop, but I could easily see how the other guys.
Because we could sit here and say Darden was the number 1 receiver for the Bucks, and then when they wasn't handing the ball off, they were throwing to him, or the tight end. But right now we got the receivers there, so I can see him. But Hudson, he was the main weapon over there. He got the ball 95% of the game. Tree Owens was the same way with the Cowboys. He got the ball 95% of the game. Now DK Metcalf had a supporting cast around him. For him to hop up on there. I think those 30-plus touchdowns did it for him, because when he came over, you saw all the attention go to him, and he still did his thing. But I like both these two, 5 and 6. I think they should get a lot of play in the. If I'm playing with the NFC, I'm playing both these guys a lot. I would probably start these 2 guys along with Metcalf, and then the rest of these guys bring them in. This Hudson kid too, I probably would start him too, just because I don't know, it's hard. They got some good dogs over here. But if you had to lock corners, the cornerbacks down. We'll come back to that. But if we had these receivers locked up man to man on corners, we're gonna come back to that situation. But let's talk about Anthony Schwartz, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, C. Moss Johnson, Keenan Allen. When it comes down to the receivers in the AFC, how do you like this receiving core, or do you think the NFC or AFC is better?
I love the AFC wide receiving core, and that core is strong, and you ain't even. It's like the NFC has the household names. I mean, but the AFC wide receiving core is filled with absolute young stars.
Yeah.
And that's missing the Baltimore Raven wide receiver. So.
But listen, I agree. Man, I agree. And you also say that with the AFC, with the NFC, with the Cardinals wide receivers as well too. But I agree. This is what I like. We seen Jaden Darling. We seen Jalen Waddle. We know what he can do. And honestly, I don't think people even took the crown away from him as probably the best receiver in the league still. Anthony Schwartz, on the other hand, he had a great year. He arrived, and the way they got this guy the ball, I don't care if it was through reverses, just whatever it was, he was still able to do everything. Like, he could take the top off you in a heartbeat. He could make the possession catch, and he could catch a pitch and take that shit 30, 40 yards a whop as well. So we saw him rise, like you said, young talent rise. And Tyreek Hill is Tyreek Hill, and Rich went through controversy with him. He dropped in, he progressed regress or degress, whatever how you say that shit. He lost speed, he lost all types of everything. He brought that boy right back up there, showed that, nah, bro, y'all got me fucked up. I am who I am, and he did what he did. Now, Jamar Chase, I would say these two guys, we really didn't get to see who they really were because, a lot of games really wasn't played. Once he lost 4 or 5 games, it was played whenever he felt like it. So these guys are up here by chance. I think everybody on the NFC side, and this is what I like about the NFC side, I don't think there's a person on the NFC side that don't deserve to be in a Pro Bowl, even with the Cardinals not having their receivers on this list right now. We can argue about Jamar Chase, and C. Moss Johnson. All right, so we get to the tight ends. George Kittle, the one bright spot for the 49ers, is up here at number 1. Bryce Moss, number 2. Kyle Pitts, Darren Waller, T.J. Hockenson, and Travis Kelce. Now, let me ask you, we got a new wave of ballers in the league right now when it comes down to tight end, and it all starts with this kid Bryce Moss, 6'7". There's not a tight end that's done nothing he did. Kyle Pitts, he was that guy that we saw doing what Bryce Moss did, but if you compare, the two young gunners that's on this list, Pitts and Moss, where you going with it?
Well, Moss was absolutely fantastic. I think overall the NFC has better tight ends overall, but I think Moss is the best tight end out of the entire group, both sides.
And you like the NFC tight ends better than the AFC tight ends? Because I could argue with Darren Waller and Kelce. Like, Hockenson ain't better than either one of those two. Or we going off production base?
Production.
All right, I could ride out with that. All right, so your left tackles is Ali Marpet, Orlando Brown, Ryan Jensen, Quentin Nelson, Elton Jenkins, Joe Patino, Trent Brown, Corey Linsley, Frank Ragnow, Drew D. Andrews. I know he's the Patriots, just forgot his name. Brandon Brooks, Wyatt Teller, Brandon Sheriff, Shaq Mason, Tristan Wirth, Bolger. Who he went to the Chargers? Yep, Chargers. Lane Johnson, D. Johnson. I don't know whose right tackle that is, but I know who Lane Johnson is. And then we get to the defensive side of things. All right, so let's talk about who's the better DN, Montez Sweat or Jay Clowney, man. I'm losing my mind right now. I'm not Jadeveon. There we go. Who's the better one, Sweat or Clowney? I think
Montez Sweat had a better year.
Mm-hmm. I think Montez Sweat is better than him, period. I think Clowney numbers rose and he wilded out this year because they did put that front four together with them two D tackles that made him up. But I think Sweat without obviously they got one of the better front fours on the game. But Sweat, I think he's 2 years in the making of putting up numbers and putting up 20 plus sacks. I like Sweat better as well. Brian Burns or Greg Rose?
I mean, I'm going with Rose simply because Burns is computer love. So.
Aaron Donald or young Jose Cuevo for the Bengals. This guy he led the league in sacks this year as a rookie.
I don't care about that. That's more computer love than anything else. And Aaron Donald actually lost a trait and actually fought to get it back. So I actually like Aaron Donald's year over Jose.
All right, Josh Sweat at right end number 2, Myles Garrett at right end number 2. Josh Sweat, man, I think he made a name for himself as one of the premier passers this year in the league for the Philadelphia Eagles, and we already know who Myles Garrett is. Do we need to make that comparison? We just like the upbringing of Josh Sweat. We like what he's done.
Yeah. Right. Josh Sweat had a nice season, but Myles Garrett has been Myles Garrett all year long.
Yes, sir. He ain't over there with a 99 overall for nothing. All right, so Vita Vea for the Bucks sitting there here, number 1 D tackle, Vita Vea, and then the rookie Amos for the Chargers. He balled out. He gave me problems in our playoff game. This guy, he's going to be a problem this year. I like him up and coming right now. 88 overall, 93 overall. Vita Vea balled out. All right, so D tackles number 2, Armstead, and then you got Jared over here for the Broncos, Grady Jarrett. Man, Armstead. Who's Armstead playing for?
Should be the 49ers. If that's the same Armstead. I didn't really see a lot of 49er games, so I didn't.
Right. He barely played too.
I saw plenty of Bronco games, so I had to go with Jared on that one.
All right. Now D tackle number 3, you got Kenny Clark for the Packers, and then Quinn. What's his name? Quentin Williams. Yes, sir. Quentin Williams.
That's computer love, so I'm going with Kenny Clark on this one.
All right. Now let's get to the linebackers. You got Shaq Barrett. We got the battle of the veterans here. Shaq Barrett, Joey Bosa. Played really well at left outside linebacker this year. I thought he would be a DN, but got him at outside linebacker in their scheme, and he, made it to the Pro Bowl as the number 1 left outside linebacker in this game. And then Barrett did what he done for the last 2 seasons, which is show he's one of the better linebackers, veteran linebackers in the league. So I like both of them. All right, coming up second, we got rookie Colt Shelton for the Seahawks, and then we got C.J. Mosley sitting here at number 2. Obviously, Colton Shelton's coming up as a rookie. We like him. Roquan Smith or the man-child rookie, the tackling machine, Devin Ward.
I thought Devin Ward was really impressive this year.
He changed the whole Chiefs defense.
Yeah.
For a rookie to come in and lead the entire league in tackles, bro, that's impressive. I mean, he's everywhere. Like, he's a tackling machine. He's definitely gonna get a nickname before it's all said and done. And because he make plays. I watched him, especially in that Browns game. This guy made plays. Jabril Cox though for the Cowboys at number 2, and then you got Jerome Baker for the Dolphins sitting at number 3. Right? I mean, number 2 linebacker for the AFC right now. Cox is up and coming over there. Him and Micah Parsons is making a name for themselves. They're the reasons why you saw guys like Van Der Esch get traded, and then the other linebacker that been there. I can't remember his name. The one that got cut by them for real is over there. These guys are starting to fall to the wayside, or they let one go already because of the way these guys are playing. Jabril Cox and Micah Parsons. So look out for them Cowboys, man. They starting to get. And then they had another linebacker that I thought would be on this list. They got off practice squad waiver, who was balling all year as well. Who was up there with the awards. All right, so again, Jerome Baker, Dolphins. Played pretty well, 84 overall, both of them 84s. Troy Dye, Vikings, computer love. Blake Cashman, computer love. Hassan Reddick, big free agency pickup for the Bucks. So we allowed him to grab a superstar out of free agency, and all he did was have double-digit sacks and played pretty well for this team. And then Darius Leonard, man, are we impressed that Boone made this trade with the Colts and give up their young rookie linebacker to go bring in a superstar? And he's the number 2 right outside linebacker in the Pro Bowl right now.
Right.
So shows that he understands how to move and what he want to do over there. And this guy played well to be able to be a Pro Bowl player over there. All right, we get down to the corners right now. Stefan Gilmore. Now let's talk about this. Let's look at the AFC and ask one question. Stefan Gilmore had about 16 interceptions this year. Resurrected his career for the New York Giants. I'm going all the way back up here, and I want to know if you think Stefan Gilmore can he cover Anthony Schwartz one-on-one?
I don't think anybody can cover Anthony Schwartz one-on-one.
So I'll go to wide receiver number 2. Can Stefan Gilmore cover Jalen Waddle?
See, this is my thing about who can cover who. Corners really can't. There's no Deion Sanders in this league right now. There's no corner that can cover any wide receiver, and I say that because people don't realize how hard it is to play corner. You have absolutely no idea where the wide receiver is going. The wide receiver is the only one who knows where he's going. So unless he's a wide receiver that has bad mechanics and gives his routes away, based off of his foot placement or based off of how he leans, with that some of the better corners are able to pick up on some of these things. But corners are at a disadvantage. So I kind of don't like that comparison.
But yet, we got shutdown corners in this league. Guys that you're going to stay away from in a game over guys, right? Xavier Howard is one of them. These guys get picks at a high level. These guys can take away a part of the field, along with Denzel Ward. I don't know if he's on here. Not on here at all. But along with Denzel Ward, I do think if we matched up Gilmore, Adoree Jackson, Jalen Johnson, Marcus Peters versus the 4 receivers over in the AFC, they're good matchups. Now, like you said, I don't know if they can completely shut them down, hold them down. But how do corners get islands if they can't do something to make them feel like they shut downs, right? So I think, I don't think Gilmore can cover those speed guys, those top 3. I think speed-wise, it's hard to chase them over. Things got to happen. You got to have a good pass rush to go along with it. You know what I mean? I don't know if he can just cover them, without other things happening. Maybe a safety over top here and there. But I wouldn't be scared to lock a guy like Gilmore on any receiver in the league. And roll coverage away from him and let him do his thing one-on-one. I think he is an Allen himself. I think Xavier Howard is an Allen. Now, these next 2 guys are, they're good corners, and I think they need things to happen for them to really be. They're not shutdowns to me yet. I think Sampson did a really good job as a rookie. Him and Battle, both of those rookies are coming up, and I do, we got one guy playing in the Super Bowl right now from the AFC that, we're not talking about, and then the guy in the NFC that we're not talking about, and going, his numbers went down tremendously after we named him the best corner in the league. Guys didn't try him, bro. Two picks, 2 to the crib. That was it. And you didn't try him, right? And then you got Anthony Israel, the corner for the Ravens. We saw him take 2 back in a AFC Championship game. This guy, does it all. He, to me, a Baltimore Raven type corner, just like Humphries is. Guys that can make tackles, go get the quarterback, can do a lot of different things with him. But Sampson and Battle balled out all this year. They, a lot of battles work. We talked about him early because the Jets was playing early, right? And then he had to step away from the game, and we really didn't get to see, the real performers of Alonzo Battle. But we got to see Sampson all year long, and Corey had him playing at a high level. Now, I won't give it's hard to give a cornerback, the shutdown title after one season, but we did it for the Cardinals. So my question could be: is Sampson a shutdown corner coming back into the next season?
I didn't like the fact that we gave somebody a shutdown corner after 1 year, because to me, shutdown is not given to someone until they've been at that position for a few years and they proved it. I mean, we didn't come out. Reeves Island didn't start year 1, year 2.
Right. So let me ask you this: Goins, we gave him the not shutdown. We gave him the best corner in the league off his production. This year, not being able to, his production is down. Like, you're not going to see a lot of interceptions on him. But what we can say is, I think guys stayed away from him a lot more, whether it was him doing certain stuff or what, but he just wasn't attacked a lot. And I wish we could show those numbers where how many times he was targeted and all that stuff, but they don't give us that type of stuff. But I think a guy like that who goes
wish
down,
they would do that too.
that'd be awesome, right? We better really judge these guys. But my question is, he's in his second season right now. If you stand away from him all year long after we deemed him the best corner in the league, is he a shutdown now to you?
I don't know, because the game I just watched, he got walked by DK Metcalf.
Right. All right. So DK Metcalf walked by, but we ask
by.
cornerbacks to have a short memory, right? We know they're gonna get beat, bro.
Yeah.
Like things happen where they can get beat at. All right. So I like that. So we're not willing to deem Sampson or Battle those type of guys right now. Now I thought Jalen Johnson, for a pure corner in his third season, I like what he did. His numbers was really good. They had a good safety over there, the boy Moon. But Jalen held his own down right now, and he's not one of the faster type corners, so he did it off of pure technique and pure adjustment. Let me stop playing with my boy D West. All right, Marcus Peters, man, one of your Raven guys, one of my Raven guys. He played really well for them. He didn't wow you with the big numbers, but they had two veteran shutdown corners over there that played well with those two safeties right now.
Absolutely.
So I respect Marcus Peters. I think he's living up to being able to go into the Hall of Fame over here. Then you have Bryce Callahan. I think that's a Bronco, if I'm not mistaken. Balled out, little veteran over here too as well, balling out with those young gunners they got in that secondary over there. Now you get to the safeties, you got Vikings Bynum, and you got the Dolphins Highland, man. Highland balled out 2 years straight right now. I think we can consider him a top tier safety in this league right now. At the number 2 spot, free safety Troy Ackley. Raw Dog, that's what I call him, Troy Raw Dog Ackley. Why? Because he's the lowest overall safety on the field starting and for any team. Look at that. He ain't even green yet. 72 yellow.
Right.
Speed kills, but they threw him into the fire and they said, look, with all that speed, it can make up for what you're really not good at yet. So imagine when he, his overall goes up and he start to get to that threshold, what type of safety he could be with 12 picks this year. As the lowest overall safety winner. As you get to the safety, you see a lot of younger players or a lot of low overall players balling right now. Bledsoe for the Patriots, 81 overall. He had a good rookie year. He followed it up with a good sophomore campaign. Raheem Gates, first round pick safety, sitting here at number 1 strong safety. He balled out this year, 13 plus picks. Derwin James, man child, doing what he do, man. Corey does a really good job with him. This year he didn't just keep him mess up linebacker. He moved him around. He had him back deep and up close and was able to do a good job with him. Shout out to him. I think he led the league in interceptions. Joshua Moon, man, we call him five picky Moon right now, man, because he came out of at least 2 games with 5 picks or more, where he balled out right now. A lot of their shit is off of the scheme over there. And then you got Rodney Harrison, a young Patriots safety at 6'4" over there, 220, 78 overall. These guys are young. They got a lot of years left in this league with up here at safety level. Kicker, Santos Lambeau. Punters, Dixon and Bailey. Returners, Brandon Jacobs Jr. and Marquez Stevenson for the Bills. You got Jamar Jefferson, the running back for the NFC side, and then you got Kalen Ballage over there as your punt returners. 1 kick returners over here. Who wins the game, AFC or NFC?
I'm
You know
going
what?
with AFC.
If I'll say if they're able to keep it a low scoring game, I think the NFC could pull out a low scoring game. You still got Tom Brady.
That was what I was going to go at.
CNC all season, man.
All right, so you got the NFC. They're screaming their record against the AFC is better. I do think at the quarterback level that they can play really. They outplay us a little bit with who's in the at the quarterback from 1, 2, 3. I like over there, but again, Mayfield maybe not. Herbert, yeah, and Mahomes. But I also know Mahomes is prone for playing hero ball and throwing a lot of interceptions right now. When it comes down to the run game, they all can lean on. Both sides can really lean on that run game as well too. To me, it comes down to the cornerback wide receiver matchup, bro. I think the AFC corners are better than the NFC's, and I'm saying that with 2 of those corners being rookies.
I wouldn't argue it because they do have those two rookies are going to be really good corners in this league along with Denzel. Denzel Ward is still was it Denzel Ward?
Yeah, Denzel Ward ain't make this list, which is weird to me, but that's what happened. Your production go down because guys stay away from
Howard.
you.
Howard is who I was thinking about.
Oh, you talking about Xavier Howard?
Yeah, Xavier Howard.
He's the Stefan Gilmore of the AFC. I really think he's the Stefan Gilmore of the AFC right now. And the younger Stefan Gilmore. Stefan on his way out of here. Bottom line, you got another year or 2 with him, if that, before he start declining. Period. Howard is on the uprise right now. He's done it steady for 2 years straight. He's literally one of the reasons why this Dolphins team is really good on defense right now. He's really there. When you talk about the Dolphins defense, you look at their safeties, but this cornerback holds his own. They got 2 superstar X Factor corners on that team, but it's nobody. It's nobody fucking with Xavier Howard, bro. He's different, bro.
Yeah, I don't just like the AFC corners over the NFC corners. I love the AFC corners over the NFC corners.
And you got guys that's not even on this list, and the only team that's not on the list over here at cornerback will be the Cardinals corners. But you got corners. I think you got Humphreys and Israel who would trump anybody on this list except for Xavier Howard. And those guys aren't on this list because they playing in the Super Bowl. So I think, man, just period. Now, when it comes down to the receivers, you missing Hollywood Brown, you missing maybe a Rashad Bateman, but on the NFC side, you missing pretty much all those guys. Every last one of those receivers probably would have been on this list. I think they would have jumped over Deshaun and D-Hop, and even with that being said, I do think D-Hop and Deshaun was, that. I mean, let's talk about that for a second. The Eagles wide receiver core as a unit, did they play better than expected all year long?
I don't know. I mean, I think they did what they were supposed to do. I mean, I never had any doubt that I never thought about that D-Hop may have lost a step or Devontae Smith wasn't going to continue to be, the Heisman Trophy winner that he was and continue to play at a high level. I think some of the production that they got out of like Quez Watkins and some of the other guys, even though I know they incorporated their running backs in the passing game, I was still surprised, by the production, as far as them spreading the ball around. I really love seeing that. I mean, it was a headache playing against it, but it was a really a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah, I thought so too, man. They did a hell of a job this year. What I'm looking forward to, I'm looking forward to the Cowboys off season on the NFC side of things, staying with that NFC East. I'm also looking for the second year of the quarterback over there, Doolittle, with the Washington football team. In the NFC, what I'm looking for the AFC. I'm looking for Jaguars taking that next step. I think they win their division next year. Do they take the next step in the playoffs, right? And then I want to see how that Chiefs team, what they do in the offseason. I think, Kelsey's getting up there in age. Tyreek's getting up there in age. Hardman, he showed he can play, but has he showed that he's ready to take over for a Tyreek Hill? What type of offense? Because they did a good job. Do they continue on defense, or they attack the offense a little harder in this offseason? If you had the Chiefs at this stage, are you went defense heavy in last year's draft, and that defense took your team to another height? They played way better football with that defense, and they could build around Devin Ward, or do they start to get the replacements for those weapons they got over there that's starting to get up there in age? What would you do?
I mean, for a team like that, and you did ask what I would do, but I know that coach is gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. So
right.
What I would do, I would have started moving some of these veterans as they approach age 30. I would start moving some of these guys out.
I think if he was to trade Tyreek Hill right now, Tyreek Hill would get him damn near pretty much whatever he wants still at this point right now.
He won't do it.
He wouldn't do it though. Yeah, he's a Chief fan. You know, it's like asking you to trade a Raven. You know what I mean? Like it's hard. It's hard. Or asking Rob to trade a Raven. You can't ask me that because I'm off on niggas. I'm off in niggas' heads. I don't give a fuck. All right, but yeah. With that being said, what else am I looking for? This is what I wanted to say. Where was it at?
I can tell you what I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to the retirements because that's going to dictate the off season.
Okay, so I can see that.
When you start looking at these teams with all these aging guys, some of these guys that's going to hang it up. That's really going to drive their off season. So I'm looking forward to see who stays.
All right, look. If Tom Brady retires. And the Bucks still, you know, Ronald Jones is there. They still have a strong run game. They have the number one run game in the league. As far as the number one productive running back in the league, as far as the number one run game, that went to as a whole goes to Baltimore. But the Bucks can get away with having a new quarterback if Tom Brady retired. They do, or they already drafted one in the first round last year to be able to be his replacement. But do you think the Bucks season go as far as that quarterback take him, or you think Ronald Jones in the run game can hold it down?
Nah, there's no replacing Tom Brady. The team's going to take a step back without a doubt because there's certain throws that Brady's going to make that going through growing pains with a rookie or a young quarterback, he's not going to make those throws. So, you know, some of those guys where Tom was actually able to throw people open, you know, this guy's going to throw picks, you know, at times. Or he may throw it too wide in order to make a reception or, you know. So it's going to be how far. I don't think the running game is going to be able to balance him because once people see Tom Brady gone, I mean, they're going to put everybody in the box.
Right.
Like, nah, you're not running no more. This guy's going to have to beat me, and I don't think that kid's going to be able to do that.
Do you think it would be a disaster for the Bucks to, you know, say, well, you know, we got a young quarterback, but we got a great offensive run game with a really good offensive line to better control that run game? Do you think it would be a sin for them to rely on that, or you think they should spend time developing that quarterback so if, you know, when they get to the playoffs, you know, the quarterback, you know, they're comfortable with that quarterback and that offense?
Now, what they should do is rely on their MVP, and instead of, they may want to cut the playbook down to get their young quarterback into a rhythm, you know, and get him going, get his confidence going, and then expand the playbook as they move along throughout the season. If they try to do everything that they were doing with Tom, it's going to be rough. I'm not saying they can't do it, but it's going to be rough.
We saw things that Tom Brady did. He just had a command of the offense, man. He controlled it. He stabilized that offense. He made throws. I mean, Tom Brady throwing a football froze defenders. And I think you have to try to not. My thing is this: you're not going to have a Tom Brady. I don't care what your quarterback looks like. He's not Tom Brady. So how do they start to adjust to the quarterback that they're going to be playing with and move forward from the Tom Brady era of the Bucks, because they have to treat this quarterback different
by rediscovering their offense through their new quarterback. Like, what does their quarterback do that Tom couldn't do?
Right.
I mean, it's easy to say that he can run because everybody knows Tom Brady was a statue.
Right.
But
he had a stronger arm too. This guy got a cannon. He had the strongest arm in the draft.
Right. So there may be things that he can do, you know, that Tom couldn't do. So just rediscover the offense through your quarterback, but also maintain the running game to balance.
All right, no doubt. So, So my question would be, when I look, I'm going to awards real fast. I just want to go to the NFC and AFC. I want to go to two things real fast. My bad. All right, so on this list, there's 10 rookies on this list. I'm gonna say, all right, I want you to say, dud or expect to have a great season. All right, so let's start with Casey Fields, Baltimore Ravens.
Great season.
Bryce Moss, LA Chargers.
What position?
Tight end.
Oh, that's a tight end. Great season.
My bad. I'll say their positions. All right, so Joey Adaya for the Indianapolis Colts, running back.
Oh yeah, it's going to be another good season for him. You know, with him and Jonathan Taylor, you don't know if he's getting a rock, so it'll be. I don't expect high numbers because of the carries, but he'll have another solid year.
Right. All right. So now let's go down to the running back for the Miami Dolphins. They went and got Vince Weber, number 4 on this list, running back for the Dolphins.
I I think he's going to have a solid season. I like the way he was looking towards the end of the year. It seemed like he was starting to find his stride. He was a little shaky in the beginning, but I think that was what we discussed. It was, with the turnover, them discovering who they were, and that team came on. That was the hottest team in the league down the stretch into the through week 18.
Yeah, man. I'm sure even in week 18 they upset the Baltimore Ravens with a walk-off home run. That was huge in that game, man. That's momentum to go into the next season to bring these guys back. All right, so we got Randy Moss Johnson, dud or expect to have a good season?
That's a wide receiver from what team did he play with? Is that the Bengals?
Yep, the Bengals. The big 6'6", 230-pound man-child out there, receiver.
I think he has the potential to have another big season, because who are you going to double? Obviously, all eyes are going to be on Chase, so it's still going to give him the opportunity to have a lot of one-on-one matchups.
Yes, sir. I like that, too, because they got a 1-2 punch over there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're going down to the one guy that we kind of killed the whole year. Quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, Brett Williams.
I think that I was very impressed with how he played, versus the Ravens, but I also saw a lot of passes, that he missed or that was overthrown. It's kind of going to be a wait and see type of thing for him. I would like to, if he continues how he played down the stretch, then I really like this quarterback. But he can't afford to have any type of setback.
I agree. AJ Celery, the quarterback for the Bengals, man. Do we see him as a dud or a guy that's going to make noise next year?
I'm not sure about this guy. And I only say that because I didn't see a lot of games. They were a lot of, just giving the force or a lot of computer games.
Right.
And then some of the games that I saw, it was they were on the wrong end of a butt whooping. So I'm not sure.
All right, so we got running back Buffalo.
I'll have to say dud.
Dud. All right. So running back Tim Howard for the Buffalo Bills. Did we see him improve on his season he had this year? Can he be 1,000-yard back?
I don't really see him improving. I think he is who he is. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. I think what he is going to be a consistent runner in this league. He's going to be a consistent, plus 1,000-yard back every year, where you can count on his numbers. And I think, as a coach, that's exactly what you want. That you can count on these particular stats. When he shows up, what you're going to get out of him.
Right. Did we see a lot more of Jim Brown, a second for the Cleveland Browns, or is?
I think he's still going to split. He's still going to split because I know I hate the fact that Boone has to be the face of the tight end delay, because believe me, there's about 5 or 6 teams who win that tight end delay just like he does, just not as frequent. So there's a lot of teams out there that was copying that play. So I can agree that he was the most impacted because he ran it a lot more. But I think that with the loss of that, he's gonna get back to
oh my gosh, he's dumb as hell. All right, so rest in peace, cousin. Right now, Pooh Hanna. Do we think he gonna have a outstanding season next year or dud?
What position did you play?
Wide receiver. Pooh-Hanna, the third receiver for the Ravens.
Number is it 11?
Yeah, for.
Oh yeah. I like the way that that the Ravens, scheme him open. Um, so I think they're going to continue to. He's benefiting from the fact of you gotta see where Hollywood is. You gotta know where Rashad is. I'm wondering with the emergence of Pooh-Hanna, could that spell, the end, or not the end, but loss in production for one of the other two wide receivers. And the way the Ravens are, you never know what else they're going to add to the arsenal.
Right. I agree with you. Let's get to the NFC. Same question. Oh, but I went to the wrong way. Same question. Offensive rookies, real fast.
What's up, bro?
For the NFC. All right, Jawan Hudson. This guy had 4,000 receiving yards this year. Do we see him doing, having a great season like that again, or, not gonna stay dud? Let's change the conversation. Can they run it back or going to decline?
It's going to be a decline. You can't repeat that production, and on top of that, everybody's had a year of film to watch, so he's going to get more attention next year. So I don't think it's not going to be because he's going to regress. It's just going to be because now all eyes are on him.
Right, I like that. All right, so Tree Owens continue on what he's been doing, or regress pretty much, or not have a good season.
No, he's gonna regress, but I think that's gonna be more because if the Cowboys are serious about some of the moves or some of the players that they put out there, that means there's going to be a new quarterback in town. There's going to be a new wide receiver. So the best way to help out a young quarterback would be to go back to your running game. So I think if they go back to the running game, it's going to eat into his numbers.
Yeah. All right. Quarterback Jada Styles for the New Orleans Saints continue to be to grow off of what he did this year, or regress.
No, he's gonna continue. There's gonna be a regression because nobody's gonna come out and go for those same. When you start looking at some of these guys that that threw for over 4,000 yards, there's obviously going to be a regression because as your team improves, let's just say, the running game improves, or you add another wide receiver or a tight end, there's going to be a drop in production.
Right.
Just for that reason. But like I said, team's going to be gunning for him now. Everybody know, Jada's a household name, and now he's a target.
Yeah, to me, it's just no sneaking up on guys and
yeah.
Are you going to evolve your the roll and rally offense, or is it going to be the same offense? And if it is the same offense, I just think guys are just going to be, they saw it already. They're going to be hip to it, especially the guys in your division who saw it twice. They're going to make you have to evolve your offense, and through evolving your offense, I think numbers go down. How about Sheldon Ward, man? Are we, is he going to be the number 1 receiver over there, or, I don't think his numbers will be the same either. I think he'll get more games. Obviously, he had a lot of computer games because guys didn't play him. So I just don't think he'll be. I think he can eventually be the number 1 receiver over here, or the number 2, where Isabella end up going in the slot. I don't think Rondell Moore moves. He's that good. I just think Sheldon Ward could be 1 or 2.
I think Sheldon Ward will establish himself as the number 1 receiver this year coming.
Mm-hmm.
That's my bold prediction for that team. He will surpass Rondell Moore and Isabella and establish himself as the number 1 wide receiver.
I like that. I definitely like that. All right, Doolittle, Doctor. He got the nickname Doc. Doolittle. Do we see him evolving or taking a step back?
No, I don't see a step back for him. This is one of the more balanced offenses, in the league. I think if anything, I think he's going to be another one of those guys where it's going to be, different week, same guy.
Say that again?
He's going to show up. he's always going to be a different week, same guy.
Right.
Like, you know, you're going to get solid play out of the quarterback every week. You know, and we do know there's times where he's going to take chances. But I think overall, he's just going to show up for work every week.
All right, so you got Freddie Minor for the Lions, another quarterback, rookie.
I would love to see his. I think he's going to be kind of the same. I don't think there's going to be a lot of regression. I am a little bit concerned about some of the games that they dropped towards the end of the year.
Right.
And then when they were playing, the Bears and some of the top guys, but that was that young quarterback up and down. So I'm hoping to see more consistency out of him this year as he is another year, into the league.
All right, so Big Donut, Dion McCoy, the big back over there for the Atlanta Falcons, that big donut wearing nigga, Big Donut.
Now, this is the first one that I'm saying I'm expecting an increase from last season. I'm expecting a better year than last season. I think he's going to be utilized more. So I'm expecting him to have.
I was going to say the same thing. I think he saw what he got with this guy, and I think he understands that for that offense to evolve with Sidney Cake at quarterback, they got to let this guy kind of take over their offense a little bit. Dion McCoy. I like to sound like it was the same thing. How about King James? Is there enough footballs to go around in Arizona for King James to continue to grow off of the season he had this year?
I think overall, all of them, let's just be honest, too many computer games. There's going to be a drop in production for
right.
every last one of them.
Right.
Bottom line.
Right. All right. So we got Dion Jones, the wide receiver over there for the Lions. Freddie Minor's favorite target. Do we see a progression in him?
I'm hoping that we do. But I do know the Lions still like to have a good balance of running the ball as well as passing. So I'm looking for him to equal his production from last year.
All right, and then one of the only superstar running backs to come out of the draft, Seattle Seahawks, George Nelson.
I'm definitely looking for him to have a better season than he did last year. Hopefully they'll implement him more into the offense, especially now we have a new quarterback at the helm. You need to help him adapt to the environment, adapt to the new offense. So what better way to do that, than to run the ball and be available for him, even on passing down.
No doubt. All right, just quick answer, dog or pup? All right, safety, first round pick safety, 13 INTs or more, Rasheem Yates for the Detroit Lions, dog or pup?
I think he's a dog.
All right, Johnny Hells, the practice squad linebacker that the Cowboys got, that was third or fourth on the league in tackles, and tackle for losses. Dog or pup?
I'm gonna say a dog.
Middle linebacker Von Teller for the New York Giants. Dog or pup?
I'm gonna say pup right now.
I liked him. I thought he was a dog all year. Jeremiah Cumberland, the defensive end for the Arizona Cardinals. Dog or pup?
Are we talking about the year that they had, or are we talking about what we projecting for next year?
Yeah, like, are they going to come back? I mean, these guys are up here. The guys are up here. I'll tell you if they up here just by choice of not enough rookies, or they're up here because they balled out. Von Teller was like fifth in the league of tackles. He had big INTs all year. He balled out. He had a really good year. He balled out. But is he going to be a dog or a pup next year? Like, is he is he a dog? He going to be a dog?
Forward,
or
dog.
going forward. All right. All right, Jeremiah Cumberland, is he a pup still, or he's a grown dog right now as a rookie?
I'm gonna go with pup.
Von Savage, the safety for the Eagles, dog or pup?
I use a dog.
All right, Silas Burgess, I think he's the safety for, or maybe a corner, one or the other for the Saints. I don't really know what position he played, but for the Saints, Silas Burgess, dog or pup?
I did not see enough of his games. I'm not sure.
All All right, Coach Shelton, the outside linebacker, left outside linebacker for the Seahawks, the fastest linebacker in the draft. That Carmichael, same thing. Didn't see enough of him. Antonio Rice, another guy we didn't see enough of, and Devon Gaffney, a linebacker for the Rams, another guy we didn't really see enough of to really say dog or pup. In the AFC, ready? Anthony Israel, cornerback, dog, pup.
Oh yeah, he's a dog.
Jose Cuevo for the Bengals, defensive end, led the league in sacks this year. Do we see him being a dog or a pup?
If he really plays his games, there's gonna be a regression. So I don't know whether to call it a pup. I mean, he had a dog year leading, but I hate the guys that didn't play their games. I really don't know how to evaluate the players.
I think he got to show us again. Until then, he's a pup.
Okay.
Clyde Sampson, the number one cornerback drafted for the Chargers.
I know who that is. Yeah. He has definitely dog potential.
Alonzo Battle, the cornerback for the Jets.
Yeah, he's
a dog, but he ain't played enough games to get that title yet. So, I'll say pup.
Yeah.
All right, Rodney Harrison for the Patriots safety.
For the Patriots. Oh yeah, I saw him make great plays on the balls, especially with them losing the what is it, the McCourty twins?
Yeah, Devin McCourty. Yep.
Yeah, he made the fans erase their memories. Well, not erase, but they forgot about him real quick.
They ready to plug his jersey in right away. Let's go get that jersey. We don't care about the McCourt. Yeah. All right, Ray Lewis the second for the Ravens, dog or pup?
He's probably I'm just gonna say dog, but I just want to say he's probably the best tackling linebacker on that team.
I won't disagree.
He does a lot of dirty work.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you. Definitely is.
A lot of cleanup.
I think we need to see his playmaking ability though next year. I think we need to see INTs. We saw some of it, but I think he need to raise his game in the athletic plays. We seen him straight be a kind of was like Devin Ward for the Chiefs at linebacker, just a tackling machine. Can he take that next step and be a playmaker where you gotta account for him at all times? I think Adolphe and Hammer still holds that role down on the team where at that linebacker level. But I would say I'm gonna say dog, but he got to take another step forward to continue to be that dog. PJ Leonard, number one defensive end in the draft. PJ Leonard for the Steelers. Not enough game footage. How about the number one strong safety in the draft, Aaron Ridley, speed demon? He's like one of the Washington football team safeties. Burner, 94 plus speed.
Yeah, he was all over the place. We actually played them early in the year, so he definitely dog potential.
All right, and the Browns had one of the Battle Twins, Tarquin Battle, at linebacker. Dog. All right, Vernon McElroy, the second corner for the rookie corner for the Chargers, who had a great season. Me personally, I think he a pup still.
Yeah, because we played the Chargers. We need to get another year before he can reach dog status.
All right, there's our rookies. That's our conversations. Pro Bowl is here right now. Again, fellas, do not worry about if the Super Bowl don't get played at night. If it doesn't, it will be played early tomorrow for us to go right into the off season. Appreciate all y'all efforts. Thank y'all for being patient. Appreciate all y'all that respect the fact that some things are going down right now that slowed us down a little bit. Other than that, AntHits the franchise guru here with the Gunner Kid. You heard? We're out of here.